Well, I'll unbutton my jacket and get a little loose tonight. I don't want to appear too stiff in front of you all. Before I really get started, I want to say thanks to Matt and Jay for your service. I think our host tonight must have been watching the commercial whenever they were younger about the Army, Navy, Air Force. Well, Marines are here. So let's get it started and go the right way. We're going to talk about monetizing cybersecurity. This is an event that you're probably not going to hear much about. Or this is a function of cybersecurity that you're probably not going to hear much about, because who really is talking about monetizing cybersecurity? They're talking about protecting their infrastructure, protecting their data, but they're not talking about making money with it. So tonight, I'm going to show you a roadmap on how I'm going to help you and your organization make money with cybersecurity. So, rule number 1. Loss of cybersecurity equals loss of profits. It's that simple, folks. If your IT's not working, you're dead in the water. So make sure your cybersecurity is in place. And if you don't know, data is the new oil. Really, this is what is going to be driving how you're going to monetize your cybersecurity. You're going to need to look at your data, and there was an old way of doing mining, and that was going into the side of a mountain and extracting the information, extracting what you want. Well, today, we have bots. We have really robots that go out, get this information, they bring it to you. In fact, they even analyze the data for you. So you don't even have to analyze the data. You can let an artificial intelligence do it for you. So if we're going to look at monetizing cybersecurity, we really have to change the way we think about cybersecurity. We can't think about just dumping money into a cost zone all the time. If you're constantly throwing money into an IT call center and it's not generating you money, really, do you need that call center? I'm telling you, actually you don't, because you can go get artificial intelligence nowadays to be your call center. So there are a number of things that you can do with technology to really start building out your roadmap and how you're going to save money. And the reason why you're going to want to build out this roadmap to save you money is because it's going to not necessarily make you as the individual, but you as an organization as well. It's going to make you become more agile. It's going to make you become more intimate with your customer and more intimate about your competition. If you want to understand how to make more money, understand your competition, and then figure out where their soft spot is and attack it, just like any Marine or even an Army guy might. So it is also going to make you agile in the fact that you're going to be able to move very quickly. If you're stuck on the archaic ways of how to deal with data, you're going to get shot down by some Marine. I swear they're going to kill you. So you want to make sure that you have an agile organization. And because you're agile, you're very nimble, and you can move around. And you can put those snipers in the right spot to go ahead and make that kill, take out the competition, and now you've just gone into a new market. So some might say that's even a form of being proactive, going out and killing your competition. Well, that's just one way. There's many ways of being proactive. And there's several different aspects of how you're going to become more agile, more nimble, and more effective. But we're going to save that for another day, because this is actually a 60-minute talk that I've got narrowed down into 10 minutes. So, really, there are some things of cybersecurity that should never be monetized. And I want to make sure that everybody understands in this room, just because I'm talking about making money with your cybersecurity doesn't mean that the real intent of cybersecurity isn't still there. And so you want to make sure that you're actively dealing with threats. You're looking at whether it's hackers and the latest forms of coming into your infrastructure. Another thing that you never want to monetize is anything dealing with safety and individual security. And I could go on, but again, we're down to 6 minutes, so I want to save some really good slides I have coming up for you. Again, other things you should monetize: education materials. We have universities, they can monetize that. Let's let that to them for a while. Security intelligence does not necessarily mean business intelligence. That's just part of it. Security intelligence is really that. It's going out and understanding, doing threat hunting. So there's multiple ways to think about how you can get intelligence into your organization. Business intelligence is just one. So really, this is the heart of why I'm here tonight. This is the roadmap on how we're going to make your organization, or how we're going to help your organization define a new revenue stream. Most organizations today, you're going to see in there in the far left in the reactive mode. Until you get out of that reactive mode and become proactive and move on into preventative, you're never going to be able to generate revenue. The whole point is, if you're going to generate revenue with cybersecurity, you need to be able to see the future. Yes, I'm telling you I'm a fortune teller. The reason why I'm a fortune teller is because every single person in here is going to go into their LinkedIn profile tonight. They're going to look at Max Justice, and they're going to go to LinkedIn, and boom, there you are. Well, guess what? In about 2 hours from now, I'm going to go to LinkedIn, see who saw my LinkedIn profile page, and then I'm probably going to reach out to you. This is what I'm talking about. You have to foresee the future. I've already foreseen the future. I only have 5 minutes left, and I can tell you that everybody here, well, not everybody, but several of you people here are going to go to LinkedIn tonight to check out Max Justice's profile. Don't forget that Max Justice LinkedIn. So, once you're able to foresee the future, that's where the magic really happens. Now, there's a lot into foreseeing the future, and again, this is a 10-minute talk, and I can't talk about everything, how we get here, but there's a lot of artificial intelligence that's going to be based into being able to foresee the future. And we're not talking about something that's going to exist 2 years from now or even 30 days from now. This is here today. You can start monetizing your cybersecurity today. So for anybody out there that's a CISO and wants to monetize your cybersecurity effort, I'd love to talk to you afterwards. So, how do you do it? Well, you have 10 ways that, I'm going to give you 10 ways tonight on how to monetize your cybersecurity efforts. Now, if you notice, this is really not in any particular order. Why? Because you can do it any single way that you want to. Now, the first thing you need to remember, cybersecurity really is no joke. Even though I loosened up a little bit tonight and I unbuttoned my jacket, I'm still thinking about how I'm going to protect my infrastructure, how I'm going to protect the people here, how I'm going to protect even the whole nation, because really I work with a lot of government agencies. So, yes, it's a dead serious matter, okay? We're talking about protection of people, process, and technology. But all of those people, process, and technology need to work together in order to promote good, effective cyber hygiene. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about cyber hygiene in the future, but let's talk about continuity of operations. So basically, that means that if your CEO gets hit by a bus tomorrow, how does your company continue on? Now, that's just one example, by the way. I hate to use the one where there's a dirty bomb in D.C., but you can all imagine that. This is why I live out in West Virginia. I'm ensuring continuity of operations. So you have to make sure that you have the right people, process, and technologies in place to make sure that your organization stays viable, because what do all companies do? They make money. Now, if you're in the federal government, you're not necessarily worried about monetizing your cybersecurity, but you are worried about understanding your data. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Well, we got 2 minutes to go, so we really need to fly through these last couple of slides, but it won't take us too much longer. So, really understanding knowledge is power. You have to understand your data, and you have to get your data. Building high-performance teams. It's really all about people. If you don't understand people, there is no way you're going to be able to monetize your cybersecurity efforts. Why? Because people are the ones doing all the legwork. People are the ones that are going to share that information with you. And by the way, people are the ones that's going to provide you with that data. So it really is all about people. The cybersecurity team, that needs to be part of your executive leadership suite. They need to be at the board of directors level. If they're not, they're unable to effectively help steer and guide that organization how they're going to generate revenue, in particular revenue cybersecurity. Not a single laugh. I thought this would at least get us a chuckle. You really have to bake in your cybersecurity. If you don't bake cybersecurity into your process, into your organization, to where people understand what cyber hygiene is, it's going to be very difficult for you to understand cybersecurity, let alone monetize cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is also about protecting the organization as a whole. We protect the systems, we protect the process, we protect the people. And you really have to understand what your data is telling you, whether it's dirty data, biased data, or that you have data that really has no bearing on what you're trying to achieve. You have to really understand your data. Also, you need a lot of executive oversight and structure onto cybersecurity. If you don't have executive leadership buy-in, this really isn't going to go anywhere. Mergers and acquisitions. If you want to understand how to buy or what you're buying, what you're getting, and so you're not buying a dud, you really need to understand your the people, process, and technology in the competition or in the organization that you're buying. And with the last one, own the breach. Really, your cybersecurity team, the cybersecurity leader, needs to understand that if the breach happens, it is that cybersecurity leader's fault. You can't be pushing it off. It's time that we as an organization or as individuals take ownership for what it is we're doing. So really, that's all the time I have. Thanks so much. I really appreciate everybody coming out here tonight, and I'd love to hear any questions you might have.
All right. Any questions? You're going to get a double applause because you get one now, then one after the questions. So
hey, nice.
Okay. Any questions?
Banjo's
up again. Really, everyone can ask questions. We're not going to bite. We're pretty friendly here.
So how do you envision AI playing a bigger role in cybersecurity as it becomes more advanced and advanced?
Yeah, I think AI is going to play a huge role. One, just because we're going to have bot versus bot or AI versus AI. Also, AI is going to, like most things, be very disruptive as far as personnel. We have so many people in cybersecurity that do not have the experience, the skill set, and know-how to actually implement a good cybersecurity program or promote cyber hygiene. And I think AI is going to be the key in making up for that skills gap.
Any other questions? All right. Please give a round of applause once again.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you.